Welcome everyone. Hello everyone, Maté talk time. It is good to be back in the office. It's in a much more controlled environment and able to take my time. All right, so let me explain. I had a operation carpal tunnel thing done. I've been feeling some discomfort for some time now, and finally dust had settled enough so that I could have this operation done. Happened yesterday, so I apologize if I am a little bit off my game today. Supposedly, I shouldn't be doing any driving and making any big decisions. I had the paperwork, or I'm sure it should be all filming any Maté talks. However, today is Wednesday and Maté talk needs to come out. Yes, I'm just gonna say I'm a little bit in discomfort, but it's all good. It's all good. Sometimes I find that in doing, you tend to forget things. Well, firstly, I just want to thank everyone who, I'm going to do a little bit of, so this is going to be a long Maté talk. Here we go. So one, the fact that my brain's a bit soft is the one thing, just to give you an idea, I was told that to do this operation, they put me in a state of, it was called a twilight session. And for a person who, you know, I'm a clean living kind of guy, I don't, alcohol or anything like that. So I reckon they just would have put the, whiffed it across me and I was out like a light. So they gave me a twilight session. So I'm still like in this, still sort of like, hey, oh, this is pretty cool. Anyway, so here I am. So so this is going to be a long Maté talk because I've got a feeling that my brain's not going to be as sharp as it could be. And secondly, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, so much has happened since leaving for LA and everything else in between that is just like, so buckle in. I promise that everything will be chapter mark for those who are new to Maté talk. You don't have to suffer along this process if you just want to jump to the perfumes that I'm going to be talking about. So just feel free to jump ahead. For those who want to know the journey that's been happening, things that have been occurring, then settle in, grab yourself a good drink, whatever that might be. Mine, of course, is my Maté. Excuse me. And let me begin. So to start off with, I want to thank everyone. So I'm going to go back in time. The LA meetup feels like a million years ago. But yeah, there was a lot of planning for that moment in time, and then we had the chance to be there. Since coming back from traveling, I guess the dust has settled and I've been thinking about all the things that have happened. And I just want to thank everyone who attended that. It was awesome to have been in the Beverly Hills region. Someone wrote recently that the tacos, the photos that I put were ordinary, that they're better in San Antonio, I think somewhere in Texas. I didn't put them up as this is the best of the world, but it's the best for me, being that we're from Australia, or that I'm from Australia. We don't get a lot of good Mexican food. And I say that with a lot of love, just in case there's any Mexican restaurants listening to me right now from Australia. But yeah, look, overall, it's not our forte. Whereas being in California, honestly, I went to some really small places where they didn't speak any English. It was only in Spanish, and man, I got some awesome tacos. I just want to say that the Mexican food in LA, or that LA region, was off the chart. So anyway, so thank you to everyone who did come out. It was great to see face to face. It was awesome to connect with Fred. We did have a look at this. So Fred's been asking me, when are you going to show the jump shots? I've been busy, man. So Fred and I were doing a series of jump shots, and I promise I'll do a little collage of our attempts at jumping, because it's about jumping together, you see, so we have to jump at the same time. Anyway, so I'll put that together, Fred, and we'll create something there. I want to thank also those people who came out in the Paris meetup. So from LA, came home for 4 days, no lies, 4 days, quickly did some stuff because we were busy with work locally, and also to catch up with my crew, just make sure everybody was good, and then boom, I was off again. And we went to the France Perfume tour. I'm going to come back on that in just a second. The Paris meetup was a lot of fun, and it was a good success. Personally, there was a lot of people there. when Kevin and I were talking about doing this, Kevin was, and we talked about it at the actual meetup, Kevin was worried that no one would show. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Even if one person shows, that's still an awesome result. You know, we get a chance to hang out with this individual. But in the end, there was quite a few of us, as you can see. And it was just really good vibes. It was fun to hang out with all these people and to talk about perfumes. Javoy, I want to thank again, massive, normally I do a thing, you know, but I'm not going to do it. Just a massive thank you. They were so generous in giving us the space. They provided some champagne and stuff like that for guests who came along. So that was a really super fun event. Now, all right, let me talk about the France Perfume Tour, France Perfume Experience. Something that Kevin and I had been building for quite some time. A lot of work had gone into creating this. We had imagined what this thing could be. And I just want to thank, firstly, the brands, because when we were pitching a concept, so before execution, we were pitching a concept that we hadn't really seen before. And I still want to put it out there that I don't think there's anything else quite like what we created. And that's not to brag, that's just to say what it is. That's the scenario. The brands that did jump on board, I'm really grateful, because you guys took a little bit of a risk. You know, what if it doesn't work out? What if people are really difficult and, you know, it becomes an arduous process for everybody? The reality is it worked out really well, and I'll share a little bit more about the beautiful people who joined us on this tour. But firstly, the brands, thank you. A million thank you. These are the brands that joined us or that supported us in this venture. All we asked of them was just, you know, put on a show for our people. Just make it something special for them that they can remember. And I want to thank every one of them. They all put on an incredible show. They did a lot of wonderful things for all the people who joined us on this tour. So a million thanks. Honestly, it was phenomenal. And secondly, the people itself. So those who joined us on this tour, one of the questions that, or the things that Kevin and I were talking about is that we do have to, I mean, we don't know who's coming. I mean, we know the names of these individuals, but will everybody work? Will there be some tension? I mean, will it be like, for those people who know the show, you know, like is it The Island? You know, like there's a show here in Australia called Big Brother. I think it's a worldwide thing where, you know, everybody's sort of like, you know, trying to wrestle each other, creating drama. It didn't happen. If anything, we were so impressed at the level of camaraderie, the good vibes that existed permanently from the first day that we all got together, where everyone is on their best behavior, to the very last day. This is the photo of all of us together. This restaurant here, let me just point out, this restaurant here, we wanted to close off with something exciting. This was a Michelin, it was a Michelin starred restaurant. The chef prepared an incredible meal for us. We were in our own private space, and it was just an awesome way to finish this 6-7 day tour that we did together. Now, this leads me to the tour that's happening next year. So my brain started to think, I want to say thank you, and I do. I want to say thank you again to all those people who joined us on this tour. You guys were incredible. I mean, we were connected because of our love of perfume, and I think that's what the common denominator between all of us. I mean, we already started in this tour in that, you know, at that place. Oh, what am I trying to say? Hold on, let me just take a break. All I'm trying to say is thank you. Thank you for you guys being so awesome. And it was, you know, it was fun that we were able to all connect in such a positive way. So 2024, May, we've got our tour that we have been announcing. At the end of this month, now while we were in Cannes, we were finalizing some details, or while Karen and I were in France, we were finalizing some details that will happen for the tour in May next year. For those people who are interested, we are releasing it first to all those who are on the VIP hot list. What is that? Jump on the NFC website. You can put your email into that hot list. The intention is that we're going to send these individuals who put their names on the hot list a one-off offer. And the idea is that you'll have that, or those who are on that hot list will have that offer for 2 weeks. and then we'll open it up to the rest of the community, anybody else who would like to join us. Now, we only have limited seats, meaning that the most that we want on the tour is 12 people. We realize that we can manage comfortably, because one thing that was important to Kevin and I is that we want this to be a bespoke experience. We want this to be very personable. And one thing that we did enjoy is actually connecting one-on-one with everybody who was with us. So we feel that 12 people is a comfortable number where we can still spend time together, but also that, you know, there's enough of us that we can move around comfortably, essentially. So offer will go first to the VIPs. If we've hit our quota of 12, we're closing it. We're not going to open it up to everybody else. So VIPs will have your first opportunity to participate. There will be an offer, so those VIPs will get an offer, and then it'll open up to the greater community. Boom. So don't forget, put your name down. End of this month, the offer will go out, so you guys can have a look at that. All right. Now, I am going to talk about these particular, so I'm about to speak about perfumes. It's been 11 minutes, not too bad. While I was away, one thing that can you see behind me? They're slightly out of focus, but these are all new perfumes that I purchased whilst I was away. Actually, another thing too, on the tour, the support that we got from the brands was that we had access to their product or to their fragrances sometimes at a discounted price, or special offers were made, or even this thing here. And I'll show it to you in a minute. This big thing here, this gold thing. I'll show you what that is. It's an M.MICALLEF advent calendar, limited number of those. We got these before they even went out to market. I'm going to show it to you in a few minutes. So if you see that in your store, you're going to want to grab this. This thing is next level. All right. But first, look at this. This is the Let Me Send You Something membership. So what I've got on the channel is, if you'd like to become a member, and in becoming a member, every month I'll do a raffle and I'll send out to you something that I'm enjoying, or I'll find out what is it that you guys like, and I'll send you some samples of stuff that you will enjoy. This time around, I've got 3 gifts that I want to give you guys. They're all 10 ml samples. One is from M.MICALLEF. The other one is from a brand called FLORAIKU. I think I said that right. FLORAIKU. 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 I'm going to tell you more about that in a second. And then the last one is the EX-NIHILO. Now, all 3 of these, I'm going to talk about them now because I find that all 3 are rock and roll superstar fragrances, just gorgeous, and I'm going to go into a lot more detail about that. Now, going back on the brand, I wanted to show you this. I wanted to show this off. I am scatterbrained today. I'm all over the place. Normally I have a rhythm, how I move through. Today, I'm cooking it. Have a look at this. So actually, have a look at this instead. So this is something that was created for us by Javoy. This is going back to the fact that the brands were so supportive. Javoy was very kind to create this bottle here, which says the France Fragrance Experience. Am I right? Yes, France Fragrance Experience. And it was on their, the fragrance is Musk Palace. And the reason why it was Musk Palace is because, have a look at this. So this is Vanina. We had an opportunity to go to her lab or her atelier, experience raw materials alongside her, which was pretty cool. So yeah, it was an awesome experience. So this was a way of I guess, commemorating this whole experience. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let me move on. All right, so going back, if you want to join on the Let Me Send You Something, I am all over the place, and I do apologize. If you'd like to see if you can get these particular samples or these 10 ml travel fragrances, by becoming a member, I'll do a raffle next week and somebody will win. I'm going to set, actually write in the comments, should it be 3 different gifts, or should, because I'm actually thinking one person should win all 3, and these fragrances, I think it should be one person, but tell me in the comments, and if it's unanimous that we should share the love, one person wins something, then let me know. Otherwise, it's a winner takes all. I think a winner takes all is a lot more exciting. If you become a member, then you'll have a chance to be in that mix for the raffle next week. Man, I really am cooking it today. All right. Regrouping mentally, here we go, boom. While I was away, as I mentioned, we don't in Australia, we don't have access to a lot of brands that are out there. And sometimes things are released overseas and we just we covet them. You know, I watch YouTube reviews or through Instagram see images and it's like, wow, that looks really cool, but I just have to imagine what it might be like. So while I was away, I took full advantage of, well, you know, one, being in the US and two, being in Europe. And so there are a number of brands that really popped on my radar. Some of these are even brand new in that after the tour, we went to Cannes. Cannes was an opportunity, was a trade show, and there were some new fragrances released. So let me start with one that is a brand that I have, that I know and I love, but this is their brand new fragrance. And I don't believe it's in store as yet, or it might be, or it's just come out. And this is Matiere Premier's Vanilla Powder. I think I've realized, well, not I think, I've realized that I really like vanilla, the vanilla note in my fragrance. And I don't mind it either as a total gourmand expression, like say Fire at Will by Javoy, or a more animalic component like the Vanilla de Tahiti extract version by Paris Monte Carlo, which is just exceptional. If you want to have something that is just really sort of just incredible, actually for winter, that fragrance is just incredible. Anyway, so Vanilla Powder, the new one. Now, one thing I love about Aurélien Guichard is the way that he constructs his fragrances. So he always has a central theme. In this one, it's vanilla as its central theme. But then he uses additional notes, and it's not until you start to go, you identify what these notes are, that you're like, oh wow, I can smell it. But if you just smell the actual, the composition of it, it smells of whatever it might be that he's referencing. In this case here, Vanilla Powder is just really, I mean, actually, it's all in the name. It's a very, I actually brought it down. I really like the way I said it here. It is a grounded vanilla. And so, unlike I mentioned about Fire at Will, which is very sweet, almost burnt sugar and you know, gourmand, or the one from Paris Monte Carlo, which has that floral animalic component to it. Vanilla Powder has this beautiful, very grounding vanilla. So yes, being that it's vanilla, you instantly think it's a gourmand fragrance, but this isn't a gourmand fragrance. If anything, it almost has wood-like components to it. So it does really bring it down, and it becomes, and I'll go on more, for those who are not comfortable with vanilla. So like my wife, for instance, not a big vanilla fan. This is a fragrance that she's been enjoying smelling on me. She hasn't worn it yet. It's a very small sample that I have in here. I think it's about 5 or 10 mil. But anyway, I've been wearing it. She's enjoying the actual scent profile, the sillage that it has. Excuse me. Let me shut that down. What it does, it has coconut, and it also has guaiac wood in there. There's one other element in there, in amongst the vanilla, to give it that element. It could be, I'll put it here. There are the 4 core ingredients that are in the fragrance. Incredible. So as a unique take on vanilla, and I'm going to say vanilla's been done a million times before, but if you want something that is very much that is consistent with Matiere Premiere and the way that they construct, or the way that Aurélien constructs fragrances, then Vanilla Powder is one that I would recommend. It's funny the way I did that. But anyway, Vanilla Powder, strongly recommend it. It's a really impressive fragrance. All right, let me show you this. So I'm a big fan of all things SOSPIRO. Now that I'm back and I'm grounded, so no more flying for quite some time. No more flying until May next year, because we've got the France Perfume tour. I don't know if you're aware of it. If you're not, you should join the hot list, because on that hot list, you'll get a special offer. Just giving you the inside scoop on that. So I'm grounded until May next year, whereas normally I'm bouncing around a bit. So SOSPIRO have come out with 3 new fragrances. 2 of them are by the incredible rock star perfumer Christian Provenzano, and one, believe it or not, is created by Salas, who is the owner of SOSPIRO. He's the man, all right? Let me tell you a story on that in a second. All 3, you gotta get them. Look, I'm sorry to tell you, and I know that means money and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've got these samples, but I'm doing the same thing to myself. All three, you just got to get them. The other thing that I love about it is that if you're familiar with the Sospiros, they come in set colors. This is the first time they're introducing, or that I know of, red as part of the collection. So if you're a nerd like I am and you need to see, anyway, so 3 red ones. Now, 2 of them are done, as I mentioned, by Christian Provenzano. Gorgeous fragrances. It's funny that, so one is called oh my gosh, excuse me, it's a cherry one. And cherry sometimes in fragrances can be, I've only got one hand, can you tell that? Oh my gosh, I can't get this out. I can't get it out. I'll put it here. That's the name of it. Because I can't see the name, it's really small. It's a cherry one. And sometimes I find that cherry's become a bit of a fashionable note. But I also find that sometimes cherry can be a little bit on the confectionery side. This one here, spectacular. It's super impressive. It is a fragrance more than it is a confectionery style of note. The other one here, this one here, boom, there is the name. For me at the time when I first experienced these, I thought this was I guess not the weakest link, but of the other 2 I really enjoyed. This one here, I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. No. Sandra randomly opened, so when we were away, we were testing different fragrances. She was wearing this, and I'm like, what are you wearing? She goes, the SOSPIRO one. And I thought it was this one here, which is called, I'll put it here. Because that for me really popped, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. And then she's like, oh yeah, so it's such and such, I said to her. And she goes, no, it's the other one with the T. I'm like, no way. That was, in my opinion, the weakest link in the 3. Sorry to say that, Christian. I would never even pretend to be a perfumer or even attempt to do a perfume. So I say that with pure love in my heart. In fact, that fragrance is spectacular. So my recommendation is all 3 of these new ones, you need to test, you need to check out. Definitely, I'm gonna say all year round. Being a Sospiro, they tend to be a lot heavy hitting, so they are developed for that more cooler months. So I'm looking at my time. My camera's going to stop any minute now, so I'll just keep an eye on that. So they are designed for cooler months. They have awesome projection. I always put Sospiros in a beast mode category. Great longevity, awesome sillage, beautiful projection, yada, yada, yada. So all 3 of these are definitely on that scale. Now, let me tell you about this one here, which I think is called, I'll put it here. When I was testing, I was actually waiting to meet with the young lady who I had a meeting with, and Salas, who is the owner, was there, and he's like, sit down, have a coffee with me, blah, blah, blah. So we started chatting, and he said, smell these. I'm like, great. So I smell all 3 of them, and he says, which one do you like? Which one really pops for you? And I'm like, whoa, this one, oh my gosh. I said, is it Christian again? Because I knew that Christian created all the other ones. Is it Christian again? He goes, yeah. Christian created 2, but one is created by somebody else. And I'm like, and he goes, so which one is this? So with that in mind, which one do you really, really like? And I said, well, this one here, this Dolce, this is like, whew, forget about it. Thinking it was Christian. Turns out it was his perfume. So Salas, who is the owner of the business, has decided to dabble a little bit in perfumery. He's been doing it for quite some time. So for those who are familiar with the SERGE range, which is the velvet range, so things like Erba Pura and Accento and things like that. Well, he's the original owner of the brand. SERGE is licensing those particular fragrances, but now Sospiro have come forward and I guess taken those, not back, but have, Sandra's call. There's basically not released those ones, so those ones are still with SERGE, but have essentially, in the same sort of DNA, that sort of very, very distinct DNA that these particular fragrances have, they've come out with their own creations. Timing is still good. All right, keep going. Anyway, turns out this fragrance here, you need to check it out. You need to check it out. It was created by Salas, and in a way I was like, that I was able to at least acknowledge that. Yeah, and hand on my heart, that was really one of the one that instantly popped, and I'm like, this is gonna be a big hit. I can already tell that this fragrance here is just gonna, it has all the pieces that makes it into something spectacular. So look out for that. I'll put it again here. Check out that fragrance. You won't be disappointed. All right, so that's SOSPIRO. Let me move on. Boom. All right, so the next one that I want to talk about, had an opportunity. So this is now one of the giveaways. So the brand is called FLORAIKU. We don't have it in Australia. I have heard of it. Look at this. Oh, my fingers. Sorry. So look at the packaging. So it's a very Japanese inspired concept. That's the, so there has a lid, it has a travel size here, etc., because this is what it looks like. Let me just bring it across. So this is the actual product itself. And this one here is called Between Two Trees. Now the reason why I actually purchased this one, and they've got a beautiful boutique in Paris. So if you're in Paris, check out the FLORAIKU boutique. It's just incredible. Sandra, as you can tell behind me, purchased two for herself. Those two are glorious as fragrances for ladies. One of the white floral one, which is called Cricket Song. That thing is just incredible. Anyway, I have a sample here for Between Two Trees. What I like about this is a really beautiful, more aromatic, masculine leaning fragrance. Opens with grapefruit, has Maté, and this is what drew my attention to it. Has Maté in the heart, and then a vetiver in the base. Now, what I love about this as a summer fragrance for me, we're coming into summer, I wanted something, I guess, with the classic aromatic, woody signature to it, but with a twist. Now, I don't know if it's the Maté that's creating that twist. It does have a green herbal component to it, but I love the grapefruit. I mean, I've always been a sucker for beautiful citrus, and the grapefruit on this is gorgeous. Now, the bottle itself, if you look at the packaging, is next level incredible. They have really exceeded, in my opinion, in the delivery of this. So that's the, for those who are not familiar with the brand, that's the part that you spray. The top of it is this very elaborate sort of container. This is where you put your travel spray that comes in the actual unit itself with a lid. The exterior of it is, they're all painted and they're all reflecting whatever the actual name is. In this case here, it's painted on leather, and in this case here, it's like an owl. There's a reason for it. There's a story behind it all. I'll experience the fragrance more, develop some, I guess, some olfactory connection to it. I'll do a review on that because I was really impressed. The fragrances are really spectacular. But next week, for those who become members, you will get a chance to win this 10 ml travel size of the Between Two Trees. You're gonna wanna be a part of that because it's an awesome fragrance. Actually, when I came home, my children were rummaging through my suitcases, and my son, Nelson, for those who know Nelson, he's like, oh my gosh, what is this? Yeah, so Between Two Trees, that's what it is. Awesome, masculine leaning, aromatic, fresh, bright, beautiful summer fragrance, glorious. But giveaway next week, so for those who become members, you can get that. Now, the other one that I want to talk about is EX-NIHILO. This is another sample I'm going to give away. This one here I was wearing in Paris. It's called Gold Immortal Extrait. So Gold Immortal is part of their range. I think it was released in 2020. This is the new release, 2023. It is off the chart incredible. This fragrance here, sillage, projection, longevity, just you feel like an immortal in wearing this. So this is a 10 ml travel size. This is also for, as a giveaway. Gold Immortal Extrait is rock and roll. So actually, this is pure magic. One of the guests who was with us bought this particular fragrance, and they smelled amazing. So one that I will also be giving away. For those who are not familiar with EX-NIHILO as a brand, I'd check them out. I really, really like them. All right, so let me just I'm wrapping this baby up. Actually, I'm doing good, 29 minutes, forget about it. All right, I wanna show you this. Please don't drop it. Actually, before I show you this, I gotta show you this. I just saw it. So I had an opportunity, boom, and I'm back. And normally stops at 29 minutes. So I wanted to show you this. I keep banging on about how much I love TONKA BODYKON by Guillaume. On the tour, we had an opportunity to spend time with or in the boutique. Whilst after the tour finished, I was always planning, and actually a video is about to come out, always planning to go visit Monsieur Pierre Guillaume in, I'm going to do my best, Clermont-Ferrand, where he is from. So I went to see Pierre in his production facility that he has there, and have a look at this. Boom! How cool is this? So I had an opportunity. Pierre mentioned to me that he's always talking about, that I'm always talking about how much I love TONKA BODYKON. He goes, you know what? Let me, here's the formula. So he actually showed me the formula. And again, wait till the video comes out. That was pretty exciting. And so I built my own. Now on this, have a look at this photo. It says, by Marcelo, the apprentice. And I love that he signed it and he put a prototype, like, do not trust this. You know what was funny with this, and it's in the video also, that he grabbed my concoction, so he was sort of swirling it, and he smelt TONKA BODYKON, you know, his creation, and he smelt what I had mixed, and he's like, no, this is not right. But the way he did it was just so, no, that's wrong, you know. So anyway, so he's, I haven't sprayed it yet. He mentioned to me that I needed to wait at least 3 to 4 weeks for maceration to occur in the bottle so that I can get the full effect of the fragrance. But I created my, well, under his guidance and as his apprentice, I created TONKA BODYKON. So yeah, so I think I promised him that I would never sell it, even though this is going to be worth millions one day. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, so I'll tell you all about that. That was a fun experience. All right, so let me show you this. So I mentioned before that we had a chance on the tour, sorry, itchy eye, to spend time with the M.MICALLEF people. We even had the chance to go to their jasmine field. Have a look at these photos. So part of the tour experience was going into the jasmine field in grass and picking the raw ingredients or the raw materials that go into the fragrance. This was, honestly, so it was an early morning start. Not that people were, I think maybe it was just like, I didn't want to get up early basically. But in the end, the moment you get into the field and you start smelling that jasmine and we start picking, anyway, it was a glorious experience. Afterwards, we met with the brand champion or the marketing, the GM, I think, actually the owner of the brand, and we were able to get this. Now, if you see this, this is an advent calendar which is being released. It has all the fragrances from their collection by date. Actually, I can't open it in my hand, so by date. But the one that is at the pinnacle, which is on the 24th, actually, I think I already took it out, yeah, is this one here, which is Ylang in Gold. And it's the, can you see that? It is the limited edition bottle, which is really, really cool. Now this fragrance here, people, ladies, this is heaven, honestly. Obviously it has Ylang Ylang as one of its core floral ingredients. Ylang Ylang in perfumery is like sensuality on overdrive. But it also has vanilla and coconut, and it has all these beautiful ambre tones to it. Sandra's been wearing this. This is, as a summer fragrance, incredible. As a winter fragrance, I think it'll be just phenomenal. So if you happen to see this, we were fortunate, as I mentioned, we were fortunate to have access to this before it went to market. If you happen to see this, this is an exceptional, this is all the fragrances in their collection, built as an advent calendar, different sizing, etc. There are, I think each of the bottles are like 10 mils. I'd recommend this as a gift. Just amazing. And what I'm going to do is one of the gifts in the raffle for next week's is this, I think it's 15 mils. It's in this beautiful pouch, leather pouch with an M.MICALLEF embossed in it. And this is from Red Colorado. For those who haven't experienced Red Colorado, I would recommend it to you. This is, before they showed, because we did a masterclass with Charbel. And before he sort of revealed this to us, I think he wasn't planning to, then he sort of decided anyway. I was debating whether to get this or the, oh actually the Gym Tonic was another big hitter. And there's another fragrance called the Desire, my brain's a bit soft. Anyway, another fragrance here, this one here. And Red Colorado. So Red Colorado, I'm doing as the giveaway. So you'll get, for those who join, who become members, there are 3 really cool fragrances here that you guys could win. I think that's it. I apologize. I apologize at the start. I'm apologizing at the end. If this was a bit of a mess, I'm sorry. I'm gonna blame this as the culprit. Today, I just wrote one last thing. Today I am wearing, and actually not on this hand, and I've been smelling it as I've been talking to you, Ambre Sultan by SERGE LUTENS. We don't get all the SERGE LUTENS in Australia. While we were there or while I was in France, I took full advantage. As you can see, I even have the Belle fragrances in the background. But it was a giveaway. Sorry, it wasn't a giveaway, it was a gift with purchase. So this beautiful limited edition Ambre Sultan, this is incredible. So for those going into winter, so Northern Hemisphere, if you want a very unique amber fragrance, so think Grand Soir from MFK. The difference with MFK, so Grand Soir, is that for me it's a very clean amber, vanilla notes in there, but it's just very clean. This one here has the base or DNA of the Grand Soir, with the difference that it now has these herbal spicy components. There are things like basil, there are things like, from memory, coriander seed. There are some other elements that it bounces around so beautifully. This is incredible. I've been wearing it today. Not the right weather, so it's kind of warm today here in Melbourne, but it's been magic, absolute magic. I've been wearing it, just feels glorious. And I'm gonna end. That's it. Bada bing. Thanks everyone, hope you enjoyed that. It's good to be back in the office. I promise next week I'm gonna be better because I think I have been in pain. Just to give you a heads up, it has been, but I'm doing this for you because it's love, baby, it's love. We'll see you guys all on the next episode.